Back to another Geeky Gecko Creations Live. If you have been thinking about feeding your leopard gecko flowers, then think twice. Just kidding. We'll find out in this video. I actually have not watched this video yet. Video will be from our good friend Liam Nelson. You guys didn't know Liam Nelson happened to also do leopard geckos, did you? Hold on. Getting an echo here. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where is my? There we go. Okay. Let me mute that. Actually, let me just exit out of that. There's no need. I need to be in that. There's Whitney. Hi, Whitney. Back to Liam Nelson, who has grown a beard for this video. Not really for this video, but since the last time I did a video on him, he's grown a beard. By the way, if you did not watch the last time I did a video on him, when was it? Let's check this out. When we did a review of Liam and his cohabbing topic, which actually is a really good topic. We did this a few months back where I reviewed what he was talking about with cohabitation, and it is, where is it? Hold on. I must have passed it here. Right here. Should we cohab our leopard geckos? Pretty good video, and I covered what he covered in the video. So I'll wait for some more peeps to come in. Actually, I know this is a really late live stream, and I apologize for this, but I do want to start this new style where I do react to things live and then get your guys' feedback and questions to go along with it. So I will, if you want to send a super chat in and you want me to read your super chat, I'll definitely read super chats. But this is the video I did with Liam before. Leopard geckos, and specifically the hot button topic of the last couple of weeks is not only, and let's just make sure that we got a sound check here, which I do think sound check is working. So let me check on my phone real quick. Let me make sure. Sound check is working. Sorry, you're going to hear a little echo here. And then let me play you guys our most recent video, which is taking off, which is our little baby feeder. Cool. Isn't that awesome? Love this little one. What's up, Minx Collection? SCP number 9. Let's check out this little leopard gecko dinosaur one more time. Huge. Love it. It's a new Geeky Gecko creation from today, this video. Okay, can you guys hear that? Does that sound okay? Because that is our volume checker. Okay, let me see who is. I'm gonna check my phone here, see who's all in the chat. So we're not going to talk about cohabbing on this stream, but we can definitely talk about that on another stream. This stream, we're looking at Liam getting canceled again. This guy gets canceled the most in the hobby. For feeding his leopard gecko a flower. It's an 8-minute video. This is actually my first time watching this video. I wanted to give you guys my raw live reaction. If the sound sounds good, which it sounds like it does, we're going to roll this video and I'm going to stop it and comment. And I want to get your guys' thoughts along the way. Spoiler alert, I do think that Liam is actually a really good guy. And I was a little clickbaity with my title, but he was clickbaity first with his title. If you look at his title, I'm getting canceled for this. He's clearly clickbaiting himself to get views, and it certainly worked. 3,000 views in one day. Most of his videos do not get anywhere near that. You could see he just released this 8 days ago, 900 views. 3 weeks ago, 900 views. 1 month ago, 3,000 views. 2 weeks ago, 500 views. So you can see almost 4,000 views after one day. This video is certainly catching some attention. Let's give him some more notoriety, some buzz. Gecko Nation, good to see you in the house, brother. I did want to get more people's thoughts on everything. Now, when I start playing this video, Just let me know how the sound is. If the sound is if his voice is too loud
Yes.
or something like that, then we can adjust it. But the first minute here before I make my first official stop, let me know how it sounds. So let's go. Let's roll it. Let's maximize this here. This is Liam Nelson from Reptiles and Research. By the way, shout out to Reptiles and Research. If you do want to go to the next level of your reptile keeping, and in this video specifically, leopard geckos is the focus, but he also does ball pythons and all kinds of stuff. He has certainly caught heat from a lot of breeders and breeder mindset people in the hobby because of his push for animal enrichment. Now, I think there's nothing wrong with breeders and what breeders have to do. And I think there's nothing wrong with pet keepers and what animal enrichers want to do. I think that's obviously the better choice if you can. And so, if you are looking for education on animal enrichment, specifically reptile enrichment, as far as lighting goes, heating goes, seasons go, obviously, in this case, as far as variety of food goes, Liam's your guy, and check him out. He's got 22,000 followers, and he is close to a few people in the UK that are very, very on top of their wits as far as the highest level of scientific reptile research that our hobby has committed. Let's give this video a like because I already know I'm going to like it, but sometimes I might have critiques or I might have some things to say in opposition against what Liam Nelson says here. Liam Neeson. What's that that actor that always does like those action movies and stuff? So let's check it out. Let me know how the sound is.
Yes, I'm getting cancelled. This past week has been very interesting. I tried to feed my leopard gecko some flowers. Now let me explain why. I make care guides for a living. I teach people how to do exactly this, how to look after reptiles and how to keep their pets in the healthiest way possible.
Sound is good.
I look at what everyone else has got on their care guides, which way they order it. Do they put housing first or lighting or feeding? And one of the things that I found was in the RSPCA care guide, in the feeding section, they mentioned that you could feed leopard geckos some washed dandelion. Now,
hold on, let's look at that for a second. RSPCA, what is that? I don't even know what that is. What did he say? The RSPCA, the largest animal welfare charity in the UK. Of course, it's always those guys in the UK that are on top of this extra level of care and enrichment for their animals. I don't know if you guys know this, but we interviewed Sophie from Sophie's Geckos and also Rebecca from Dragoon Gecko over in like the UK, Europe area. And they actually have regulations on their leopard gecko cage requirements. So they could keep up to, I think it was 2 or 3 females in a 4x2x2. But that's the minimum. So they have to do large cages over there. So the UK is really on a lot ahead of the game as far as animal enrichment goes and research. So it says leopard geckos mainly feed on invertebrates, which is insects in the wild. In captivity, you should feed your leopard gecko insects. These include crickets, calciworms, locusts, waxworms. You can also offer dandelion or nasturtium flower. Now, some people in the leopard gecko hobby have actually started dusting their mealworms with bee pollen, I believe it is. And I don't do that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? My system's been working really good for me. It's worked really good for Ron Tremper, all the big breeders of the past. That's where I've pretty much got my system from. And yeah, so anyway, I do know that there are bee pollen has flower particles in it, sugar, stuff like that, right? So I guess it's possible. I mean, he says that he tried to feed his leopard gecko a dandelion, but he obviously like succeeded because you can see in the photo right here the gecko is eating the dandelion. So let's check it out.
yes, I'm getting One of the things that I found was in the RSPCA care guide, in the feeding section, they mentioned that you could feed leopard geckos some washed dandelion. Now, I found that surprising because leopard geckos are insectivores, which means they mainly eat insects as a part of their diet. However, I know from experience that just because something is labelled as such by us in our way of understanding the world around us, it doesn't mean they are bound within those boundaries. Many times you might see something that's actually quite shocking. For example, how about this giraffe eating a zebra? Deers will go and eat them.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. A giraffe eating a zebra?
Eating a zebra. Deers will go and eat the marrow out of bones of carcasses they find in the wild. These animals are strict.
That's raw right there. I mean, I guess what he's saying as far as adaptability of animals, what do you guys think? What have you guys noticed? I know Gecko Nation is way up in Alaska over there. You've probably noticed some wild stuff as animals have needs for staying alive, right? In captivity, mealworms are not the primary diet of leopard geckos in the wild. So we've already changed their primary diet from like locusts and crickets and all kinds of other invertebrate bugs to mealworms in captivity and other species of worms that they just don't have in the Middle East over there. So that's one thing. And I'm sure we've done that also with ball pythons. If you know anything about ball pythons, the rats that we feed them in the current hobby is actually European rats. And that's not what they eat in the wild, which is why ball pythons go on food strikes. And it's one of the most difficult and annoying things to have to deal with ball pythons. So yes, we can change reptiles' diets, and they are very adaptable. So let's see what you guys got. Some comments over here. Herbivores will eat meat for extra fat and nutrients. Very good point. Amy's Reptiles. Hey, Frank, what's up? I did watch Liam's video today, and I actually agree with everything he said. His gecko didn't actually eat the dandelion. It picked it up and spit it out. Spoiler alert. I didn't watch the video, but we're going to check that out. I use bee pollen when I gut load mealworms and spirulina algae powder. There you go. There's all kind. That bee pollen thing is pretty new, by the way. There's a few breeders that started like picking it up, and they really just started using it over the last like 5 years or so. But before that, that really wasn't a thing at all. And I'm not saying that it's not beneficial. I'm just saying that we're constantly trying new things. And I think that that is a good thing to try new things. But my mentality for the most part is if it's working really well for you, like my system works really well, I don't want to make any changes to it. So, but I totally respect the people that want to experiment with things. And obviously, bee pollen is one of those things that has been experimented with in the most recent 3 to 4 years or so. For leopard geckos. I didn't see it active before that. Maybe some people were using it, but they certainly weren't advertising it publicly from what I can tell. But now it's pretty public information for bee pollen for leopard geckos. So
Herbivorous in our definition, but they will engage in eating animal products. But also, just because something is a herbivore, it doesn't mean they're not getting animal proteins at the same time. For example, giraffes will be eating a lot of ants whilst they're eating browse. Sheep will actually get an iodine deficiency if you leave grass too long, because they're supposed to be eating some dirt at the same time as they're eating grass. So there is also a level of conscious and subconscious consumption of things, even though that's outside of herbivory. So this piqued my interest. I started browsing the internet and I found a few mentions.
And this is why a lot of people started harping on calcium sand, by the way. If you do not already know about calcium sand, it's probably the highest recorded substrate that has ever caused impaction for leopard geckos. I'm sure there's been other substrates. Heck, I seen a ball python swallow paper towels and get impacted, right? So an animal can swallow anything and get impacted. But we noticed that calcium sand, it's very, very fine, number one. And number two, people were theorizing that that the leopard geckos were actually eating more calcium sand than normal because of the minerals in calcium sand. Why they still sell calcium sand in the reptile stores and pet stores is beyond me. However, they still sell heat rocks too, and that's also beyond me. And we also know now that there's a higher risk than normal for animals getting burned on heat rocks, but they still sell it, right? So anyway, let's see what he has to say more.
Of apparently they will eat flowers in the wild. Now, I tried to find studies and I couldn't find any, but my curiosity was piqued and I offered my leopard gecko a washed dandelion. I also wanted to see how motivated my leopard gecko was to eat this flower. If she licked the flower in a lackadaisical way and wasn't really that interested, I'd have been, but
Amy says he either watched or read somewhere that Leos eat dandelions in the wild, so he watched the dandelion and gave it just to see if it was interested. Yeah, now my thing with feeding bugs from the wild, obviously I don't judge anybody and I don't condemn anybody for the decisions they make. But when new leopard gecko owners, especially parents that have kids that want to catch bugs outside and feed it to the leopard gecko, 9 times out of 10, that probably won't hurt the leopard gecko. However, you also have to be careful, because what if those bugs are gut loading on chemicals, pesticides, or they actually have pesticides sprayed on them from your local area? A lot of people, especially in Arizona, they spray for scorpions out here, which is poison. That's straight poison. And so I really highly advise people to, number one, make sure that if you are going to feed bugs from outside, that it's the right size bug, number one, but also number two, that you're very careful about pesticides and poisons that could be sprayed over the insects, or that the insects are consuming because it was sprayed over grass or something like that. By the way, Amy, you probably missed the very beginning of this. Excuse me. My title is clickbaity. I don't hate Neum, nor am I trying to cancel him. He clickbaited himself with this title, and I figured I would throw the cancellation in there and make an interesting title. But Liam is actually one of the people that I recommend if people want to take a deeper dive into reptile research. I mean, his name is perfect, Reptiles and Research, because the team and the group of influencers that he works with are severely they are massively motivated by the highest level and new research for reptiles in our hobby. Look at this, look at his face, look at how the face it paused on. Sorry, Liam. They're really focused on the best care for our reptiles. As you know, in the 80s and 90s, when reptiles first came in, we were feeding crested geckos baby food at first. We were not giving animals UVB and all kinds of stuff, you know. So the reptile hobby has increased a lot. And if you think about it, dogs have been domesticated for around for thousands of years, right? In human population, reptiles have really only been domesticated in America, especially for the last 40 years. It's a relatively new hobby that we are constantly and at the forefront of making innovative lighting, innovative substrate, innovative feeding patterns, and all that kind of stuff, decor, to give our reptiles the best care possible. So rainbow mealworms is 10 out of 10. I recommend look, they're in my description feed below. 10 out of 10. They give you more worms than you pay for, and they have the cheapest pricing on the internet, and they have live arrival guarantee when shipped to hub, depending on the temperature zones, and they have an awesome customer service team. Rainbow's where it's at for sure. I thought I saw what's his Alex send a message here. Maybe I missed it, but sorry if I missed your message, Alex. I'll catch you on the next one. All right, let's see here what we got. I wish they shipped to Alaska. Oh, they don't ship to Alaska? I'm surprised that Rainbow really ships to everywhere that I know of. So who does ship to Alaska then, Ken? How do you get your mealworms, or what do you feed up there?
If my leopard gecko came charging over and wolfed down this flower, this would have made me think that maybe there's something more to this. My leopard gecko started to eat the flower, apparently didn't like the taste, and spat it out. And that was as far.
Yo, props to the leopard gecko, because I can't even get my leopard gecko to eat anything that's not moving, anything that's not live. And maybe that's because I really don't try, but they don't even eat the dead mealworms in the bowl. And when sometimes new reptile keepers buy those freeze dried mealworms from Amazon, I tell them, I'm like, good luck. Beetles, geckos won't eat the beetles. My geckos won't. I've seen some people's geckos that will eat a beetle from time to time, but in general, most reptiles won't eat beetles because they are associated with smell. But props to the gecko. Look at him smashing that dandelion. He went for it. Should you change the substrate in the egg box, or just wet it once a week? You don't need to change it as long as there's no poop in it or anything. Just wet it once or twice a week to keep it damp. Yeah, Rainbow is the bomb, guys. I cannot speak highly enough of Rainbow.
He didn't like the taste and spat it out. And that was as far as my experimentation went with that flower. But I got a really cute picture of my leopard gecko holding a flower. So what I did is I thought I'm going to test people.
He baited y'all. I knew it. He trolled you guys to get a reaction out of you. Now, if you're new to the leopard gecko hobby, there are certain things that people absolutely flip their lid over. One of those is UVB. Another one is sand substrate. Another one, or is any substrate, honestly. Some people will critique you if you have carpet. They'll critique you if you have eco earth. They'll critique you if you have paper towel. It's like, well, what's left? Tile? Actually, they do recommend tile, which, sorry, I don't mean to hate on you if you keep your gecko on tile, but to me, that's the absolute worst thing to keep the gecko on, because it's really heavy. It can damage your glass tank really easily. It's hard to clean. And if they poop in the cracks, residue of the poop is just going to sit there for ages until you clean it. And cleaning is a hassle. So anyway, there's many reasons why I don't personally like tile, but I don't judge you if you do use tile. But I do know some people are like, don't keep your leopard geckos on anything except tile. And I'm just, I had a new leopard gecko owner reach out to me the other day. Shout out Natalie, in case her and her daughters watch this. They heard from somebody that eco earth is deadly to your leopard gecko. I'm like, what? Like, send me that message if you re-find it again, because who on God's green earth is telling people eco earth is bad for your leopard gecko? But this is the world we live in. We live in an internet world where people love to stay in an echo chamber. And what that means is there's certain people they look up to in this hobby, and whatever those people regurgitate out there, even if it's straight garbage, they will regurgitate that back out. And if you don't want to listen to that, then they will kick you out of that echo chamber, and they will constantly stay in that chamber, just reaffirming their own lies to each other and not allowing for any new information to permeate their brains and allow them to see that there are different ways, or they're just wrong about certain things. So let's check out some of your comments here. You got a feeder farm in Alaska, in Anchorage, right on. One of the girls one of your girl leopard geckos just laid an egg, and it looked punctured. If it looked punctured, she probably scratched it as she was laying it, and it was probably not a good egg. If you go on my YouTube channel, type into the search bar Geeky Gecko Creations fertile eggs, and I have a video showing you what fertile eggs and non-fertile eggs look like. Everyone's opinion is the only right opinion mindset, unfortunately. Yeah, especially in our internet world, right? I'm a fairly new leopard gecko owner. I need to get some nice size enclosures for my male and female. I want to do bioactive setups for them. There you go. You wish you could cohabitate them. Yeah, females, there's a 95% chance that they'll be fine. Males, there's almost a 0% chance they'll be fine. And a male and female, there's about 50% chance they'll be fine. But most likely he will continually breed her. So I usually discourage people from that unless they're trying to breed. Astronomical, all good, Frank. I essentially said, wondering why a gecko ate in indelible calcium substrate when we put nutrients in it is crazy as asking why people die from chocolate didn't label chocolate we didn't label as poisoned. SBT probably means she laid. Yeah. By the way, I found this new guy's channel who he purposely harms himself for your entertainment. And in this one video, he ate alcoholic chocolate to see if it would actually, like, you know, get him impaired. And it didn't, but he ate it and ate it and ate it until he puked. Obviously, I think he ate like 5 pounds of it or something, but I forget the name of that guy's channel, but that reminded me of that right now. All right, Liam Neeson, let's see what else you have to say, and let's change the look on your face here.
Curiosity and test people's reactions. So I posted it on my Instagram and in a Leopard Gecko Facebook group with the caption "Nom." It wasn't supposed to be good or bad, for or against, just simply nom. And
he said nom. He be trolling though, which is cool. Sometimes I'm a little bit of a troll too. Sometimes I like to, you know, push the envelope and get some ironic reactions that I know are going to come. And that's what I did with this short right here. Check it out. Cute. Love it. Work it, little one, work it. Anyway, the reason I said that this is a little bit of a troll is because I absolutely know our haters are going to clip this and shoot it around the hobby and say, look, Frank is squeezing the gecko on purpose and hurting it and it's screaming, none of which I was doing. I was just lightly but firmly holding the gecko because I had to clean some vermiculite off of him, and it gets really stuck on them when they're babies, and they first hatch out. But sometimes little babies will get like annoyed at you and they'll go after you. I mean, look at this little guy basically attacking like a god in his eyes, right? Like my size, like a human being is like a titan to them, right? It's like a Greek god or something like that out of the sky. But no, I was very gently holding him, and you could see he's even very relaxed right here at the end. And he's just licking his lips. No harm, no foul. But I already know some of our haters that just try to clip anything of us and make a big deal out of it. I already know they're going to start sending that picture around. Oh, Frank was squeezing the gecko, making them scream. So cool. Let's continue on here.
People lost their minds. Straight away, the Facebook group closed comments and were like, please do not do this. They're insectivorous. They will die. They cannot digest this matter. And then the admin team of that Leopard Gecko Facebook group then went over to my Instagram and started going nuts.
What? The admin attacked him? I don't get how people don't support Liam. He is like the #1 person on the forefront of pushing better care for reptiles, and he's still getting attacked. That just shows you the depravity of the hobby that we operate in. So the admin said, could you elaborate on this? I'm very interested. I've never seen this before. To be fair, Liam totally trolled them on purpose. He totally knew it would cause a bad reaction. And then when the bad reaction came, of course, he was expecting it. So I'm not saying that he didn't want it to come, but you sort of have to know that it would come at that point. Kind of like when I post my videos about certain things or certain topics, I always know that there's a chance that a bad reaction might come of it. But if I see an educational opportunity or a publicity stunt opportunity, 9 times out of 10, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Anyone who thinks Frank would squeeze a baby gecko for views doesn't know Frank. Yeah, they already said that about during one of my live streams. I don't know if you guys remember. This probably happened a couple times, but there was a baby leopard gecko, like a little bigger than that gecko. And when I put it back in its tub, it jumped into its shallow water bowl where it can stand. It can stand in the shallow water bowl. But I went to pick it out of the water bowl, and somebody took a screenshot of me picking it out of the water bowl and said, look, Frank's holding the gecko underwater. Completely false. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, do people actually go around purposefully lying about people? Because like, if I say something about somebody that's not true, and I find out that it's not true, I'll correct it, or I'll feel very bad because I don't purposefully try to intentionally lie. I don't understand the mindset of people that go around habitually lying. And I'm not going to judge you or condemn you if you are one of those people. It just blows my mind that people find joy and pleasure in that, I guess. But I'm not perfect also, so I'm certainly not condemning people that do that. But there's a lot of that towards us. So
because I looked at an RSPCA care guide and saw that it mentioned flower consumption, and then looked at that one, let me just test the motivation of my leopard gecko. Automatically, it was me using poor resources, me just taking things for granted, me just following bad advice, just complete irrational, crazy Karen behavior. And then I get a message from someone saying that my picture was posted to a Facebook group about uneducated pet owners, where the members of said group will post different screenshots from areas of the internet and basically just laugh and take the piss out of people. Just completely taken something and ran with it and lost their absolute minds.
Dandelion is a weed, right? Anyone know if dandelion is a weed?
And now it's, I can't believe this person is recommending this. Don't they know this is irresponsible? I didn't recommend anything. I posted a picture of a leopard gecko holding a recommend anything.
What did he say? I hope so as well. This is from the admin author, I believe. It was really shocking to see this come from this person. See, Liam's a well-respected person, though, as they tend to post really good and knowledgeable information on reptiles. Yes, people do go around lying and defaming others. Obama actually legalized propaganda in 2015. Legalized propaganda. Really? I'll have to look into that. Yeah, propaganda is wild, especially nowadays. I'm not going to get into it right now, but politics nowadays and what people say about each other's parties and the videos that they put out there, wild stuff.
I posted a picture of a leopard gecko holding a flower and said, nom. But there is a larger, more educational reason that I'm even making a video about this. And I would just like to make a plea with people to think pragmatically. You should have a curious and open mind. You should look at something like that and be interesting. Tell me more. Why did you do that? I didn't know leopard geckos could eat flowers. You should look at something and be like, is there something I don't know? Is there more to that? Can I figure that out? Why did you do that? And just...
Isn't bee pollen kind of like flowers? I'm just genuinely asking because I don't know, but bee pollen is like the byproduct of what bees do when they're collecting particles from flowers, right? Or no? Dandelion is indeed a weed that is pretty enough to be a sort of pleasant flower. It is pretty. When I lived in New Jersey, I remember fields of dandelions, and then also those white ones that you could blow. Which ones are those? Are those a different kind of dandelion? Oh, the flower and puffs are sometimes eaten, but the leaves, greens, are far more often used in salads and are very bitter. So my mother-in-law, my wife's mom, Whitney's mom, comes to visit us, once, a couple times a year, and they're very outdoorsy, live off the land. They go hiking mountains like 24/7. And when they come here, we got a ton of weeds in our backyard. And she was telling me one day about where weeds came from and how the original colonizers of America brought weeds from Europe, from the UK, because they were edible and they were more like thicker and more dense and more nutritious for people to be able to eat here year round, even when you don't have fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Of course, you have to know the right kinds of weeds that you can eat, but they could save your life if you're ever lost in the wilderness.
Start asking questions and figure out if it's something that you want to try or figure out, or even if there's any merit to it. Listen to the logic of why someone tried something and then engage with it. It's a very, very dangerous and lazy attitude if you look at something and see that you don't know it and your response is, well, if I don't know it, therefore it's wrong. People have got a very, very exaggerated sense of their own knowledge. And it leads into something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Now, the Dunning-Kruger effect is basically when you first get into something, you gain a lot of new knowledge at once, and you go up this ramp, and you feel like you know a lot. And then as you learn more, you realize, oh my God, there's so much I don't know. And you come down into this trough, and you feel like you know nothing. And then, once you're years into your hobby or the thing that you're learning, you then start coming up into real experience and really knowing something. And then your knowledge starts coming back up. But you go through this weird curve. And there are so many people that garner a bit of knowledge and then think they're on top of the world and start trying to throw their weight around. Just chill out. Just chill out. To explain my thought process behind this,
can bearded dragons eat dandelions? Good question. Does anybody know? You could do a quick Google search. There's like spreadsheets out there. Do a Google search for safe foods and flowers for bearded dragons to eat. You can do a Google search, and there's some files and stuff that are like vetted files out there that are pretty easy to find, but I don't know.
There was no risk in my mind whatsoever. Leopard geckos in the wild will eat scorpions. They will eat centipedes. They will eat other lizards. Things like scorpions and centipedes have hard exoskeletons. They can't break these exoskeletons down. So when they eat a scorpion or an insect or a beetle with a hard wing case, they will digest what's in that. And then that stomach content of that undigested exoskeleton will be packaged into a mucosal package as feces, enter the colon, be lubricated and just sent straight out as poo. Anything like that just gets pooped straight out. So are you going to tell me that the flour, that as soon as you heat it and wash it, starts crumbling in on itself and drying up and disintegrating? There's going to be a massive problem when the hard wing shells of beetles and parts of a scorpion pass through easily.
That is true. I mean, leopard geckos and other species related to leopard geckos, for example, in Arizona, we have the Coleonyx gecko, which is known to eat scorpions and keep the scorpion populations down. If they could eat a scorpion, what's a dandelion going to do? Anyway, I shouldn't say it that dismissively, right? Because there's always things that trigger certain species that you wouldn't expect, right? Like what's something that humans just can't eat? It like kills us, right? But maybe other animals eat it all the time. I don't know, but I'm sure there's something there. I like the way he said colon. How do you say it? Let's go back.
As you heat it and wash it, starts crumbling in on itself and drying up and disintegrating. There's going to be a massive problem when the hard wing shells of beetles and parts of a scorpion pass through easily. Right, they will digest what's in that, and that stomach content of that undigested exoskeleton will be packaged into a mucosal package as feces, enter the colon.
Okay, I'm going to start saying it like that now. Enter the colon. Good catch.
And the dandelion head. Or we're going to gut load our insect. Happens when a leopard gecko goes and grabs an insect. The flower parts are just going to pass the heart's problem when the hard wing shells of beetles and parts of a scorpion pass through easily.
Gecko Nation says the bee pollen we feed our animals is more than likely a form of bee bread, which is a refined pollen mixed with nectar and bee saliva, which breaks down the hard organic compounds of the pollen itself. Okay. I just did a quick Googleizer, and you're right. I always am amazed by the two types. I think you retracted the message there, Alex. I'll read it when you repost it. But what Liam's about to talk about right now is gut loading and also what insects in the wild eat. So hypothetically, let's say there are crickets and grasshoppers in the wild that are eating dandelions, and then leopard geckos that are eating the grasshoppers. Therefore, you can theoretically assume that it's okay for a leopard gecko to eat a dandelion because it's eating something that is eating a dandelion. Anyway, I think that's where he's about to go with this.
The same thing's going to happen. The flower parts are just going to pass through. There was very little risk. And to add to that logic and the line of reasoning, what do you think happens when a leopard gecko goes and grabs an insect and gets a mouthful of grass and plant and leaf litter and dirt? It just passes through. Or we're going to gut load our insects on pieces of dandelion leaves and the dandelion heads. It's going to be in the gut content undigested because by definition it's gut loaded, filling the stomach content of the feeder insect, and then goes into the leopard gecko. If the leopard gecko can't digest any of it at all, and it can't break down that cellulose in the plant cell walls, it's going to pass it out. But when you logically break it down like this in a calm, pragmatic, logical manner, you think, oh, okay, no problem whatsoever. But when people start losing their minds and they're like, if they'd have actually just controlled themselves, no problem whatsoever. But when people start losing their minds and they're like, if they'd have actually...
How can I slow that down? I know one of you guys know how to slow down. I know there's a way. Isn't it like a right click or something like that? Isn't there a way to like slow it down to like one time? Oh, there we go. Playback speed. Let's go 0.5. Let's go 0.5 real quick. Where was it? Right here.
Actually just controlled themselves, engaged with it, and thought about it before a problem. Educate. What's the logical reasoning and the thought process behind that decision making, Liam? I didn't realize educate, Liam.
It makes him sound like
and
he's
not
intoxicated.
What's the logical reasoning and the thought process behind that?
Dang, now I'm going to have to play my videos back in 0.5 speed and see if it makes me sound intoxicated.
Okay, no problem whatsoever. But when people start losing their minds and they're like...
There we go. It's at 712. So let's slow it down now. Playback speed, 0.5.
In their minds and they're like... If they'd have actually...
Sorry, guys, I'm having too much fun with that. Hold on. It's at 711. Let's go to 0.25.
People start losing their minds and they're like... If they...
Oh, sometimes you just need to laugh. All right, let's bring it back to normal speed here. See what comments I missed here real quick. I had to fix the spelling errors. Frank just wanted to know if on the subject of leopard gecko digestion, Lieutenant Pancake makes both big brown and smaller white droppings. The white ones are urine, correct. Arcadia recently came out with a new supplement called Revitalized D3, and Arcadia is another one of those like UK Europe based companies that are on top of like the best care and products for our reptiles too. It's a mineral and vitamin powder and also has bee pollen in it. I just got it and it's a great product. Well, there you go. Maybe I'm just a dinosaur. Maybe I need to consider change, you know. When the weed hits just oh man, is weed legal everywhere now? I'm genuinely asking it. And what's the age that you have to be to use it? He said when the weed hits just right. One more time. When the weed hits just right. And this is not an endorsement for weed. I actually am personally very against it for myself. I know it does not do me well. And so I do not do weed, and I would highly encourage kids from doing it recreationally because I think it can really mess your life up.
What's the... When people start losing their minds and they're like... If they're...
Okay, I'm not going to make you guys watch that anymore. But if you want to rewatch it, it's at 712 if you want to watch it back. Okay, so it is sort of like alcohol. You got to be 21 in California. Most parts of America is legal. I own no geckos. Don't plan to. You don't own any geckos? Hold up. We got to convince you over here. Have you seen this? What's your name? Fairy Fantasia? Check this out. How could you not want this? Look. You not want this thing. Hey, look at him. This little leopard gecko has a perfect smiley face on the top of its head. I've seen smiley faces before, but probably nothing as perfect as this one. So I'm so glad that we were able to find someone who appreciates the smiley face and gets to have a happy gecko for life. I wonder if I can hold up real quick. I'm not gonna delay us very much further. I want to see, can I put this in slow-mo? Can I put a short in slow-mo is the question. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll check it out later, but doing this guy in slow-mo would probably be pretty fun. Captions, description. I don't see a settings button. Description. Nah. Okay.
That have actually just controlled them.
Show Derpy. They can't say no to Derpy. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Break. We need to check out Derpy. Derpy was on a short, yes. So let's go down. I know Derpy's pretty close here. Ken and all you Amy, you guys who have been with us for a while, do you guys remember Derpy? So Tatum, one of our employees, actually has Derpy right now, and this is Derpy in Tatum's home.
He wants to square up with me. Look at this. He wants to square up.
A disformed face, because and this is a good lesson for you guys. Don't breed super snow to super snow. I don't do that. He just happened to get a disformed face. But if you do breed super snow to super snow, this is the type of stuff you're going to get. You're going to get some wonky stuff. And so I don't do that. Again, it was just a random, sometimes animals can be bad, right? Born with issues. And he was just randomly born with those issues. But where is his Derpy's older videos? Because it really, I think it's around here. Here's Derpy. Oh, this was a video that Tatum made with Derpy that was like trending at the time. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it for Derpy. There's one or two other videos on our channel about Derpy, but thanks for that reminder about derps, old derps.
Themselves, engaged with it and thought about it before losing their fucking minds, it wouldn't be a problem. And I don't know why it's you need to educate yourself, Liam, and not what's the logical reasoning and the thought process behind that decision making, Liam. I didn't realise educating myself would have been so simple. I don't know why I went 50 grand in debt to get a degree when I could have simply just started a Facebook group. I might try a flower again, see if her motivation changes, and if it doesn't, okay, then I don't feed flowers anymore. But I was willing to give it its time of day. If you really want to be in a position where you're going to educate people and guide people on pet care, you can't go around berating them. It's just such an icky, nasty attitude to have. But anyway, just slow down, take a step back, and just think it through. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Final thoughts, final conclusions, guys. Final thoughts. Anything that you want to see while I'm here? Is this Gecko Nation's video?
I am giving my gecko...
Oh, no. I thought you had a nice little viral short here, Gecko Nation. But. Final thoughts. I'm gonna leave my screen on minimized because I just got back from the gym. And so I got like my gym clothes on, my hairy chest popping out here. I don't want to make you guys see any of that. But what you guys got? Final thoughts on, first of all, I don't know if there's any footage out there of leopard geckos eating anything except for mammals and invertebrates. So if anyone has any footage of leopard geckos either in the wild or in captivity eating fish, eating what else? Flowers, veggies, fruits. I've never seen any video like that. So in my mind, there's like absolutely no reason to even try to feed a leopard gecko that. I'm all for progress and experimentation and all that kind of stuff. I'm all for that. I'm just saying, in my head, I don't see leopard geckos getting down with the dandelions, but let me know. I mean, what do you guys think? Derpy, Lieutenant Pancake, and Pikachu. Yeah, they need to do a trio video. And No One Loves Me. We love you. We love you, Ken. Let's go to Gecko Nation's channel, eh? If you guys can, please give Gecko Nation a follow. He's got 19 subscribers right now. I'm hoping we could bump that up by tomorrow. He's got some nice unboxing videos here, some cool like Alaska background stuff going on here. And I know that you do geckos with your daughter too, which is really cool. And I don't know how she feels about being on camera, but maybe doing like family style videos would also be good. I know you're just starting and you're gonna do just fine, but I'm just saying that's an idea. And then of course Astronomical Pie Studios, who we're gonna do a live stream with sometime in the future when we do have some more time. This is not it. Studios. So our boy Alex in the chat here. Hold on. Did I spell it wrong? Astro-nomical. Astro-nomical Pie Studios. He does like gecko meme kind of content. Let's go to his channel here. Let's look at his most popular one. 40,000 views? No way. Oh, of course. It's this one. Anytime you do something controversial, I got to be honest with you guys. Anytime you do something controversial, it's going to trend. So, peeling the shed.
You look like you're going as a ghost for Halloween. Look at that. We gave you a stripe. Slip the arm out.
I love the music. Jurassic Park. By the way, Jurassic Park Rebirth coming out July 2nd, 2025, this summer. So save the date. New Jurassic Park movie.
Need a hand? Pull.
Need a hand?
I can't pull for you. Pull.
Oh, that's good.
Can I help you with the backside? You've got like a fan.
Good job, man. Good job. He does great work with his geckos, and he's also like a geeky, nerdy guy too. So he implements like science fiction characters. Like where's but he always does cool stuff. Funny stuff. I thought that you just you got political right here, huh? Standing on worms and with Ukraine. When leopard geckos try online dating.
Don't stick your tongue out at me. I need a name. What? How do you spell that? It's all so complicated with the flowers and the romance and the lies upon lies.
You just want to talk. It has nothing to do with mating.
I just want to talk.
Funny, bro. So you can see he does some funny stuff. He's got some long form content, but it's mainly all older stuff. It looks like maybe this was Lieutenant Pancake's like first video I remember.
Remember, Trooper, should you see a bug, take it down instantly. Come on, you geckos. You want to live forever?
So who's a Starship Troopers fan? I am. That's why I love what Alex does. It's funny, it's science fiction, it's geeky, it's nerdy. So yeah, so check him out. But any last questions or concluding statements that you guys have or that you want me to touch on? This is a new style of live stream that I do want to do more. So when stuff comes up that I could talk about for the leopard gecko world or the reptile hobby as a whole, we could do a live stream, give my reaction to it, as well as get your guys' feedback and just have a little bit of fun session hanging out, you know. I'm also going to do obviously other live streams where I'm just, you know, streaming the leopard geckos themselves or showing them off. But yeah, this was a topic one. I thought it was interesting what Liam was going through. the
I
video.
am giving my gecko a mansion. Look at the size of it. But in a home this big.
Okay.
Tell me this. Why?
It was interesting what Liam did on this topic. I thought it was different. It's something that you don't see a lot in the reptile hobby. And I genuinely wanted to see what he had to say about this and give my live reaction to it and get your guys' reaction as well. So I am going to hit the showers, or probably do some work first and then hit the showers. But you guys know where to find me. Hit me up at geekygeckocreations.com. Text me 480-299-7657. Email me from our website, whatever. And I'm always happy to help you guys. I will see you guys very soon. And until then, my friends, stay safe, pursue your reptile passion, and have a geeky gecko great day. Peace.